Silas Vayne, a name whispered in hushed tones, a legend of the Roaring Twenties. The enigmatic magician who captivated audiences. His shows were legendary. Silas was more than a conjurer of cheap tricks. He was a master of illusion, a weaver of dreams. His specialty was the manipulation of shadows. They danced at his command. They whispered his secrets. Silas was at the pinnacle of his career. Then everything changed. One fateful night, during his most daring act, tragedy struck. He vanished without a trace. The act was called The Vanishing Soul. It was Silas's masterpiece, a death-defying feat of illusion and escape. He would step into a cabinet shrouded in darkness, then disappear before the audience's eyes. Jealousy festered in the hearts of rivals. One such rival was Jasper Croft. A man consumed by envy and ambition, Croft sabotaged Silas's act. He introduced a cursed artifact, a mirror said to steal souls. As Silas performed his final act, he felt a chilling cold. The air crackled with unseen energy, then darkness. He was gone. Silas didn't vanish into thin air. He was thrust into the void, a place between spaces, a realm of shadows and whispers. It was a prison of his own making, yet crafted by another's hand. Time had no meaning in this ethereal plane. He was neither alive nor dead. He was adrift in a sea of nothingness. But the void was not empty. It hummed with a dark energy. Silas felt it seeping into him, changing him, twisting him into something other, something less than human. Yet he clung to the memory of who he was, to the echo of his soul. He would not be consumed. He would escape. The void had its effect on Silas. It imbued him with strange and terrible powers. He became a phantom, able to shift between spaces. His form, once solid, was fluid. He could walk through walls, vanish into shadows. He developed other abilities. Void Grasp allowed him to manipulate the very fabric of the void, pulling objects or even people into its depths. Distorted reality let him warp perception, creating illusions more potent than any stage magic. And then there was the endless trick, a terrifying power that trapped victims in endless loops of their worst nightmares. These were not the tools of a magician. They were the weapons of something far more sinister, but Silas clung to them, for they were the only weapons he had. Silas was driven by two consuming desires, revenge against Jasper Croft for his betrayal, and a desperate yearning to reclaim his stolen humanity, to escape the insidious clutches of the void. The void whispers to him. It promised power. It offered oblivion. But Silas would not surrender. He clung to the remnants of his former self, to the memories of his life before the darkness. He would return to the world that had forgotten him. He would find Croft. He would have his revenge, and in doing so he would claw his way back to the light. Section 6. Echoes of Enchantment. Silas returned to a world that had moved on. The Roaring Twenties had faded into memory. The world he knew was gone. Yet he could still feel the echoes of what had been, the lingering energy of magic and wonder. He haunted the places where magic once thrived. The grand theatres now fallen into disrepair. The speakeasies once filled with laughter and music now silent and empty. The crumbling ruins of vaudeville houses where the ghosts of forgotten performers still danced in the shadows. He searched for any trace of Croft, any sign that might lead him to the man who had stolen his life. And he searched for a way to break the curse, a way to reclaim his soul. Section 7. Whispers from the Void. The Void was not a passive prison, it was a living entity, a dark consciousness that whispered to Silas. It tempted him with power, it promised him oblivion, it sought to consume him entirely. Silas felt its pull on his soul. He sensed its tendrils reaching out to him, trying to drag him back into its depths. He fought back with all his might. He clung to his memories, to his anger, to his hope. But the void was patient. It would wait for him to falter, to succumb to despair, and then it would claim him entirely. Section 8. The Man Who Wore Masks. Was Silas Vayne a villain? He had, after all, returned from the void with terrifying powers. He used them to instill fear, to bend others to his will, or was he an anti-hero? A man twisted by circumstance, seeking revenge for a wrong done to him, desperately trying to reclaim what he had lost. Perhaps he was neither. Perhaps he was something far more terrifying, a being caught between worlds, a man who had become a monster, a creature of the void, forever teetering on the edge of oblivion. Section 9. A Tragedy in Waiting. The tale of Silas Vayne is a tragedy in the making, a cautionary tale about the price of ambition, the dangers of dabbling with forces beyond our understanding. Silas's story is far from over. He remains trapped in his spectral existence, haunted by the past, hunted by the void. His search for redemption, a race against time. Will he find peace? Or will he be consumed by the darkness that binds him? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the echoes of Silas Vayne's magic will continue to haunt us long after the curtains have fallen.